A teenager met with me a couple of weeks ago and asked me a very important question that's kind of rare. It's not really a subject that's talked about, yet it's very important to teenagers, especially. So, shout out to Rema for asking this amazing question. She said, make a video on how to improve your voice as a teenager, how to sing better as a teenager. Do you know that teenagers singing voice or children singing voice is way different from adults and should be treated a little bit differently? I'll tell you why. As a teenager, there is a stage you'd get to where your voice would begin to change. That's as a result of a change in your body, all right? Which would obviously affect your voice. So as your body changes, it affects your voice. This change or this stage is what we call puberty. So it affects both boys and girls. Now, with boys, the changes would be more obvious because the vocal cords grow 3 times more. Can you imagine that? 3 times more than it does in the girls' voices. And what do I mean 3 times more? You find out that the vocal cords um, tend to grow longer, much longer, and also thicken up. This results in the vocal cords vibrating slower and results in a deeper sound. That's why guys, when they grow up, they cross puberty, they develop deeper sound than the girls, and they fall into a voice category called maybe tenor or baritone or even bass. And that's why guys end up singing lower than females. So in a harmony line, you can find females sing mezzo soprano, soprano. You find females who have the voice type called contralto, but then the guys are always below the females. That's the reason why, because their vocal cords grow longer and thicker, resulting in deeper voices. So, what is puberty? I know a whole lot of you may have the answer already, but let me just tell you and connect it to what we're talking about today, which is singing. All right. So, puberty is the time when kids or children transition into young adults through physical changes. It doesn't happen all at once, but it's a slow process that happens over a period of time. Now, it's advisable to know about these changes that come along with puberty, so you would know what to expect as a teenager. Because a lot of times, like I said, it's a very rare subject that's not really talked about a lot. And you find out that a child, when they experience this stage, they like, some of them even shut down because they tend to lose their high range. They could sing high when they were younger, and now they can't sing high anymore, and they just shut down. They abandon music, and later in life they tell people, "I used to sing when I was a child. I used to be a good singer." And because nobody guided them correctly or encouraged them the right way, they left it. No, it's a change that's supposed to lead to something greater, richer voice, but because they didn't know what it was, this change happening to them, they didn't know what it was, they abandoned singing and thought that was a permanent change. But that's why I'm making this video, to help you understand this better and know that it's a change that's going to result in something far better. So let's talk about, when does puberty start? So for most females, puberty will start when they are around 8 to 13 years old. And most males will start between 9 and 14. But it can start earlier than this or later than this. It's still normal. Okay. Now, before puberty, children's voice are usually categorized as trebles. What do I mean? When we grow up into adult, like I told you, the vocal cords grow longer and thicker with guys, and the ladies as well. It grows longer to some extent and thicker to some extent, but not as the guys. And in some ladies as well, it grows longer and thicker than some other ladies. And that's why these ladies who have their vocal cords growing longer than other ladies could be categorized as alto or contralto voices, because they develop deeper female voice, while the other females who don't experience much growth or elongation in their vocal cords tend to still sing really high. So then they don't really experience much changes. There is change, but they don't experience much drastic changes. And that's why when we grow up as adults, when we become adults, we develop different categories of voice types. You have some guys who are tenors, who are baritones, who are bass, and the ladies, we have sopranos, mezzo sopranos, altos, and contralto. So, like I said, the children's voices are usually categorized as trebles, both boys and girls. Doesn't make any difference. That's why when children talk, they sound alike. And if you're not looking at who's talking, you would find it difficult to tell whether it's a guy or a girl talking. Hey, where did you go? Where you coming from? Yeah, they all sound like that. Okay, so this is a term that refers to prepubescent voices. Prepubescent, before puberty. This is because children's voices are similar in range and timbre, regardless of gender. The term treble comes from the Latin word triplum, and this was used in the 13th and 14th century to describe the highest range of music. So this video is something I think every teenager should watch or listen to have knowledge and not be ignorant of these things, okay? And parents also, you can get your children to watch this video to understand the changes that happen in their voices as they, experience this transition. Now, the reason I said it's a transition to something even better is because children's voices strengthen as they grow, and their range can be extended with encouragement. So it's not like I used to hit the high notes when I was a child, but now I can't hit it anymore. It's a case of you can still hit it with the right kind of exercise and encouragement. That's what I mean by encouragement anyway. And with knowledge, okay? And you develop a richer, nicer voice. A richer, nicer voice. That's nice. Now, let me talk about how it affects the characteristics of voice types. As a teenager, you may find your voice breaking and squeaking. Don't worry, don't panic at all. The squeaks will go away at some point. It's just a phase you are going through to develop a rich quality vocal sound. You see, it's good news. Also, you may find you're no longer able to hit or sing high notes with chest voice naturally. Again, don't panic. As children, we sing high notes with chest voice and we wouldn't strain, right? Because it comes naturally to us. But then when we experience puberty, when we go through puberty and, start growing up much more, experiencing all these changes, you find out that you're not able to hit the high notes with chest voice any longer. And in most of my classes, I teach don't pull up chest voice. Don't pull up chest voice. It's not healthy for singers. For children, that's different. That's not the case. They can sing chest voice high up there with no problem at all. But for us, I mean, the grown-ups, or when you cross puberty, there is a technique. This is where the importance of the importance of mixed voice cannot be overemphasized. All right. So you now learn how to use technique to get to those places again, the high notes, and so on and so forth. So you'll find out also that the mixed voice would help you sing high notes with even more power, richer tone. How do you develop your voice as a teenager, especially when you're experiencing these changes? Now, that's where a term, a compound word called semi-occlusive comes in. This is where a closure somewhere in your throat or tract happens to allow you to get through without breaking. It allows you to get through your registers without breaking. So let me show you some exercise you can do, okay, to get you through the breaks and the squeaks you may experience as your voice changes. So for the guys, let's start with lip rolls, okay? Lip rolls or tongue trills. That's the tongue trill. With your tongue vibrating behind your top row teeth. Or the same thing with lip rolls. They work the same way, okay? The same thing. All right, so we go with a 5-tone scale. So you work your way gradually in this stage of change. So you go just a semi octave. Okay, ladies, you can join. Remember, I'm gonna do a separate exercise, okay, which is gonna be longer. Okay, so now let's go to another exercise, and this is gonna help you go through the breaks. Okay, now we're gonna use an ng sound, just like we have in the word bring or sing, right? You know, it's not pronounced bring with the G like that. It's a different kind of G. Bring, nga, nga, nga. Okay, let's try that. Bring. So take away the first three letters and maintain the ng sound. Nga, nga. We'll do uh, five tone, a 5-tone scale, which is a half of an octave. Again, so we go. Did you hear that? So there's a kind of closure happening in your throat. And you know, air passes through two cavities, the oral cavity and the nasal cavity. But we don't want to sound completely through the oral cavity, which is the mouth, through the mouth. We want it going through the nose. Okay, so we go, you feel it close here, the closure here in your throat. Next one. Now, guys, for the boys, you'd find that your transition point is around E flat, E, and F. For the ladies, where your voice transitions from one register to another, maybe chest voice into mixed voice, and then mixed voice into head voice, is always around the A, B flat, B. Okay, so this is going to help you go through all those breaks, all those bridges without your voice breaking. Okay, as long as you do this ng sound. So let's now go with the ladies, okay, with the girls. So we go, guys, you can still continue, okay, but don't push it. Whenever you notice your voice, you're pushing it, just withdraw, okay? And that's it, just a short one. Okay, so I hope you learned a lot from this video and you see the changes you're going through as a teenagers in your voice is actually good news, because it's a means to an end, and the end is a beautiful, richer voice that can still go high with the right kind of exercise, with the right kind of encouragement. And if you have any question, don't forget to put it. So that's it from me today. If you have any question, don't forget to put it in the comment section. I'll be sure to read it and reply to it. Don't forget to click that like button, like they say, smash that like button. All right. And if this is your first time, you're welcome from any part of the world you're from. You are welcome to my channel. Trust me, there's a lot to learn. I bring these things to you so you can become excellent singers, or at least have the knowledge. Okay. And also giving you the ability to be able to pass it on to other people who need help. All right. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Don't forget to click the join button below the video. It helps you to become a special member. You get to watch videos days before it's released. and you get access to certain perks you'd love. Yeah, you'd have a badge beside your name to show that you are a special member. Who is more special than just the normal subscription? Yeah, exactly. So see you next time and bye bye.